In the meantime, peace talks between Ukraine and Russia have failed to find a resolution. It comes at the same time as Russia resorted to a vacuum bomb, allegedly, in its invasion, and that goes against the Geneva Convention. For the latest developments, Newshub Europe correspondent Lisette Raymer is at the Ukrainian border in Poland. Lisette, what are you seeing there in terms of Ukrainians still fleeing? Because we're hearing that Russia has told all residents in Kiev to leave the city, get out now.
Well, Melissa, I was just at a train station in Poland and a train had arrived from Kiev and it was absolutely packed and people were just incredibly relieved to be off that train and on Polish ground. But here we are at kind of a makeshift refugee camp and it is incredible the strength of spirit that is on display here. We've been here throughout the day and it has been chaotic. Busy, busier all day long. People working, bringing along nappies, making homemade soup to give to people that are getting off the bus loads. And this is really cool too. I want to show you this. Because this is the sort of generosity that we're seeing from people now. So a lot of the refugees will arrive here on a bus from the border and then you see all of these people have signs on cardboard. You kind of look for the cardboard signs and they have on them names of places that they're willing to drive people. So we've seen everything from Munich to Prague to Czech Republic. People are so generous with their time, with their money, with their fuel. A lot of people, I spoke to one man who drove from Munich yesterday with fuel and supplies. He wanted to drop off nappies and food and water for everyone that would be arriving here, and then he wasn't leaving until he had a carload of people to take back to Munich with him. He was going to offer them a place to stay for as long as they needed it. So there is this real sense of spirit on display here in Poland. It is really remarkable to see how the community is rallying, not just the Polish community, but all of Europe really, and you do get that sense from those who are arriving here. They're exhausted, they are absolutely broken individuals, and they arrive here and they are just instantly surrounded by love and warmth and support, so they're very grateful for that.
The best of humanity out of the worst of humanity. Russia has denied bombing civilian areas, but what are witnesses on the ground saying?
Yeah, so even just in the last hour and a half, we've now had another attack in Kiev, and that was on a TV cell tower. So that's another attack. Russia did come out and say that there were going to be missile strikes, so they, as you said, encouraged everyone to leave the area. But that attack did go ahead relatively soon after that warning came out. The problem with the conversation at the moment is that people are worried that Putin is changing his strategy. So he has always denied that he would be targeting civilians, but as the takeover hasn't gone quite as expected, hasn't moved quite as quickly, there are now reports that he's using weapons that have a much larger area. When they hit, they have a lot greater impact and they're far less precise in their target, and he is just launching these rockets that have very indiscriminate targets, so they are hitting those residential buildings, and we are seeing the civilian death toll rise as a result. So that is hugely concerning for everyone involved, and it's part of the reason why there are now allegations that Russia has committed war crimes.
Newshub Europe correspondent Lisette Raymer, thanks again for bringing us the latest from the region.